Let's do this. Hey, hello everyone. So I'm here editing images of this event. Maybe the music is too loud. I'll just reduce the sound of it a little bit. So I'm using my Wacom tablet. I'm working it up. Wacom tablet is great. It's connected via Bluetooth device. So it's, unless I have to charge it, so it's less one cable here. That's why I'm not using headphones and I'm using a speaker that might be interfering a little bit with the microphone, because I also have desktop audio active. But just to keep the table clear. And also, guys, I'm checking on my phone my channel so I can keep an eye on the chat. If you have any questions, here and then I'll be putting my eyes on my chat. I'm planning to be, usually when I'm doing this, I stay here for 40 minutes, 1 hour. I can do this for 2, 3, 4 hours in a row, but I don't, because eyes get saturated, something called color saturation. So I'm near the window also, here in my local studio, aka my bedroom. So I here and then look outside just to decompress this color saturation issue from my sight. I also I focus on a point far away so I can exercise the muscles of my eyes, not to be constantly looking to the screen. So it's very important to do this. If you don't have a window, choose a spot far away from you. I would say 5 to 8 meters. That would be ideally. That's almost like infinite in terms of relaxation, because you are hitting your hyperfocal distance. You should know what is hyperfocal distance if you are a photographer. That also happens in our eyes. Focusing anything at 8 meters or the infinite for our aperture is barely the same. Okay, so let's get real. I'm shifting to focus. Here and then I check my phone just to check my chat. I hope that the phone gets the computer stays up to the process. Well, that's not a good expression. Stays up to the process. Can keep up with the process. That's the expression, because this is a bit consuming in terms of resources, CPU and graphics. Phew. So here they are, all the pictures. So if you don't know how to use focus, here we can activate and deactivate all the panels that we are using in our view. On the left, I have selected the folder where are the imported images from the Hasselblad. So you can work, do something with those pictures of the Hasselblad, amazing images. You have to import them, and they were imported to this folder. So now I can hide it. I'm working inside this folder. When I'm exporting images, I will define the folder on which the files will be exported. That's for another video. Right now I'm going to guide you guys, if you are still here, if you are interested, I'm going to guide you on my process. Before investing time on editing and retouching all the images, adjusting exposures, etc., all the settings, you can see how many images I have here. A lot. So don't invest your time retouching and editing 300 images if at the end you're only going to use 50 or 20, whatever number that is. So first thing I do, because I can understand if an image has potential or not, even if I'm not adjusting the settings. I know in my mind how I can make an image powerful or not, how I can use it. For the regular client, it's more difficult to see that because they don't know the process. But if you're used to edit images, you should be able to know that this image looks horrible. It's like bluish. to write like the first image of the set. Come on, that's not a good image. I know that. But I also know that I can recover. I know that I can bring down the highlights. I can recover information on these highlights. I can increase the contrast. I can adjust the color temperature of the image, adjusting the white balance. So many things I can do to improve this image. And even in Photoshop, I can remove this building in the background. I can create a badass image based on this one. But I know how, and I have an idea on how much time it will take me to do it. So depending on your goals, in this case, I want to deliver at the end the images from Focus almost ready or almost ready to deliver to the final client. So let's do this. Phase number one, I'm going through all of the images. Here they are. We got some aberrations, and I'm going to select them. How to select them? I use the keyboard. It's quicker. I don't know, as in Lightroom we can do it clicking on icons, but I just go for so you press 1 to 5 for the stars. 6 approval goes green. You can see here goes green. 7 neutral selection, and rate is rejected. So 6 is selected. If you are using Lightroom, this is similar to flag. Yellow or 7 is going to be unflagged. 8 is going red is going to be rejected. If the picture is really bad, if it's just the test chart is not even focused, whatever, that picture doesn't have to be there on your hard drive, so delete it. Sometimes it's not easy, so I'm just going through 6 and 7 selected or not selected images throughout my set, and I'm going to use Control Right to select the next image. Those are not AUDI images, but eventually I can use them. I know this, so I'm going quickly. 6, I mean select, go. Those are sponsor images. This white balance is making me crazy, but I'll just accept it the way it is. I can adjust it. Yeah, sorry, because this is really making me crazy. I hate seeing things like that. White balance daylight is better, so what I can do is just copy the settings and paste the settings, as simple as that. Now, I hope your computer is good, because especially if you are using like Hasselblad files, medium format files with 100 megapixel, those are big files. So, by the way, I'm using an Oman gaming computer, i7 7th generation, 2.8 GHz, overclocked, GTX 1050 graphics card, and 16 gigabytes of RAM memory. And still, sometimes, gets slow. So yeah, let's do this. So if you like, if you don't like, if you have comments or suggestions, please comment on the chat. I will check them later. I here and then go and check my mobile phone to see if there is any update on the chat. So okay, I should have all the pictures with the white balance set. I don't have to go one by one, come on, seriously? I missed something. I'm using Focus because it's the best software to use with Hasselblad. I can also use those files with Lightroom. I can also use them, I guess, in the Phase 1 software, Capture One, but I don't want to mix here the brands and intentions, and because this software, Focus, is designed with specific algorithms for the camera. It's calibrated and balanced for the camera. But I'm not that used to this software, so these things happen. Like I want to paste image settings in this case just the white balance. That's the only thing I've adjusted. I want to use them to and sync all the images with this. This is a process, you can feel it. This process is what I'm used to do in Lightroom, like sync those settings with all the images, right? Come on, focus, think Francisco, think. Portrait standards, now, oof. Okay, probably I'll have to go one by one because I'm not finding the correct shortcut or key to do this. I was expecting this to, whoa, what a horrible image. Oh, the exposure is on the maximum value. Come on, Francisco. Go standards. Those are like the presets, you know. Like balance, where is that balance? Is shot? No, cloudy. By the way, the sound you're listening to is from Paulo Arruda, a Brazilian DJ that has great chill out music. I really love the way he composes those sets. And I've been listening to his sets since I've started my photography journey, so it's like a tradition. Every time I'm editing, I get into the mood with Paulo Arruda. Actually, I can write his name on the chat eventually. Paulo Arruda is a DJ from Brazil. Just search on YouTube, you easily find so many links. So okay, Francisco, I'm going to copy paste the settings of I don't like this. I really don't like to have to do this on every picture. I don't like to do it on every picture. I don't. In terms of connections, because this is a very used camera and unfortunately I had to deal with some errors regarding the, because the connections, the metallic connections were a bit oxidized. Oh no, I have to go through all the niches, I can't believe this. And so some aberrations when I was starting up the camera happened. Yeah, it was really a shame. So this was a test shot. I go like boom, red, immediately delete this. There's nothing in here. I was actually changing lenses and cleaning the camera on track. I really hate to do this on a racetrack because particles may be in the air, so it's never a good idea to change lenses, especially in the medium format camera, to detach and attach the body again and the viewfinder and etc. It's like, this is hurting me. But yeah, I want this to be the normal setting. Do it. Copy. So rejected. So I selected. Those are sponsor images. I will take care of them later. Select. And I will crop this. Obviously, this one I'll use it as well. So yeah, actually, because I'm using the Wacom tablet, it's also a touch tablet. You don't have to use the pen all the time. You can use your fingers. It can detect up to 5 touches, I guess, the 5 fingers. But I'm using 3. Hope you're enjoying the music. So I'm going to use one hand to select. Maybe I can program some buttons on the Wacom, but I'm not doing it. Going to pen. It's easier using the pen for me. So I'll crop this one and enhance here the brand. I will rotate and adjust all the settings. Nothing here, rejected, delete. I'll keep those Hasselblad I shared already. Just for the sake of this one, I'm going to, because I know I can recover the information on the sky, for example, just using the recovery slider. But for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it neutral or there. I'm not going to recover for now. I know I can do it later, so I'm okay with this. But I will use a layer mask to apply the recovery only on the sky, because I don't like the effect and how flattened the image gets here on the tarmac. So I'll only use the recovery on the sky. I'll have to use a mask, a gradient mask for that. But for now, I like the image as it is. Delete, 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 delete. I was testing out, well, maybe, how does it look? Oh, and I had to make this decision. Oh no. Because I was provided with the wrong lens hood. That's what you're seeing here, is the lens hood. So I had to make the decision to use it and then crop the image a little bit, or replace this using the content aware tool on Photoshop, or don't use it and risk to damage the lens. So you can imagine my choice was obviously to use the lens hood and avoid any damage on the lens, accidental damage. When you are on location photographing events or whatever, so many things will happen that will force you to take a decision on set. Like, you don't have 5 minutes to make a decision. You have to decide now what to do, what settings on camera to use, where to go, where to photograph. Like, there's one event happening, one very special thing is happening. Where are you taking that photograph? Make a decision. You cannot be in both places, in 2 places at the same time, to have 2 different angles. That happened to me here. I will explain this later. So with time, with experience and with practice, and that's why it gets expensive to hire a photographer because the accumulated experience is super valuable. Because of this, you start learning where to go and what to do in a big variety of situations, especially if you want to avoid reflections. I don't want to be reflected in the objects or that I'm photographing, for example. So I'm not only looking for the perfect perspective, but also that shooting point where I am not that visible in the car, or I can see it's easy to remove my reflection using a gradient and stuff like that. Now the techniques on Photoshop on post-production. So lots of things happen when you're taking photographs. You're not just pressing the shutter button. So many things happen before and after we take the photograph. We capture the image. Sounds better when you talk like this. So I hope the microphone is well adjusted. I calibrated it, but yeah. You can guys eventually let me know in the chat if music, volume and voice volume are okay. I guess. All the images were affected because I have those settings and the white balance custom, etc. So I want to try this again. Maybe it's okay. I'm thinking. Maybe when I imported the images, that's when this happened. This is not like standard values. Definitely not. This is the import standard adjustments preset. Exactly, that's what happened. That's the standard, that's the saved. What is it using? What? S-shot. Oh, I like. Now we can see how medium format is really good. The 15-bit information, the f-stop range, 16 f-stop range. Look at the shadows, the transition between the highlights and the darks. Oh god, this looks really good. Again, this is a 10% image. I'm going to zoom in. This is 50%. Look at the definition of this badass image. And the depth of field. So I photographed this at f4 and look at the depth of field because this is medium format. f4 in the medium format is like f2.8 or f2 or f1.8 eventually on a full frame camera. 100%. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so amazing. Right, focus, blurred. Ow. Can't you see the focus range here? How narrow it is, and I'm photographing at f4. I love this camera. I'm very impressed with the Hasselblad. I wasn't that impressed with the phase one, but I was using the AQ3. Well, I was impressed, but I was expecting a bit more from the phase one. It's so subtle that it's difficult to explain because both cameras are so freaking good, are like the best in the world, right? So I'm not saying they're not good. Just to make it clear. this is a magazine shot, like the gentleman looking, observing this piece of machine. Oh shit! 100%. 100% zoom. This is how much detail we can read the tire's information, guys, at 100%. I can go to 200%. Look at this. We can. This is mind-blowing. I can read the small letters. I can read Canada and US codes only, the smallest letters in the tires. I can even read the number 003281 2012 3331 or something. Well, it's difficult to read. This one is not, yeah. But I can read the specs on the tire. On this tire, can you see the amount of information that this image has? This is freaking amazing. I love this shit. Oh, I'm mind-blowing. Seriously, I'm going to share this all over the internet. Freaking shit. How amazing this is. We could see a mosquito here if there was a mosquito somewhere, you know? We can read the freaking tire information. Like, this is 400%. In an image this size. I'm getting crazy with these guys. Holy shit. The tricky thing, and that's my responsibility as a photographer when I'll be delivering those images. First of one is to funnel correctly my marketing stuff, so all the owners and everyone that was there have access and know that those pictures are available. That would be the most difficult task after this one, to let them know that this is available. The other difficult task would be to sell them, because I'm not giving this away for free, as you can imagine. The difficult thing would be, oh, I'm not selecting the images. Oh, damn it, Francisco, I have to go back. I hate this. Focus. Well, I can do 2 runs. The first run to calibrate the images, the second run to select them, but I'll be wasting time, so I'll do it all in one run. So I was saying the first difficult task would be, after this one, would be to get in touch with the audience. The second task would be to sell them. And to do that, people don't realize how much these images are, not how much, how big those files are and how much information we have in these files. Those images are made to be printed in a high resolution, big format printing, like buildings, billboards and stuff like that. You can try to take a picture like this. On screen looks apparently the same, although the transition between the blacks and the whites, the grayscale and the transition, the bit information that we have is amazing, and it makes the image, even with natural light, so much softer and rich in terms of information. It gives depth, you know, because it's the transition, the shadows that gives depth. So you cannot have more depth than this with any camera in the world, unless you are using the big brother of this one, the 400C, but that camera has to be used in very specific conditions. because it's a multi-shot camera. Without considering the multi-shot, this is like the best in the world. Natural light, this is the best you can get. And so I have to let the clients know what product they are buying. It's like no one goes to buy a Ferrari if they don't know Ferrari or these cars, right? If you know nothing about cars, if you go to buy an R8, you are going to be briefed by the seller on what you are buying. Like you don't buy them online, although you can start to buy cars online already, but even though you know what you're buying, you are told. And that is called client education, or educate your client to whatever you're selling. In my point of view, look at this shit. Oh, this is amazing. It's not about selling. Oh, it's not correctly focused. Oh, damn it. I missed the point of focus because I was aiming for this little cap. Oh, look at... Oh. But yeah, but still is a good image. Ooh la la. So time for me, guys, to go and share this on my social media. Oh, this. All right, I'm sharing this live stream on my Facebook page. See if anyone wants to pop in. Live streaming using Focus software from Hasselbald. Join me, yeah. If anyone wants to join me. Again, you are listening to Launch Beat 21 by Paulo Arruda. You can check it online. Launched on March 2019. I'm not affiliated or whatsoever with Paulo. I've been in touch with him twice with Messenger, asking him some information about the songs he was playing. But it's a tradition I have. Every time I'm retouching using this sound. Paulo Arruda just gets me in the mood, you know. Gives me the chicken neck. Let's go. Ah, look at this. I photographed this at f4 and the depth of field, the bokeh effect. It's just amazing. I'm in love with my work. Oh, I have another picture. Yes, I got it. Ah, I want to say the F word. I thought I didn't get it, but I do. Not 100% focus. I missed the focus like by half an inch, by 1 centimeter or 2. Look how precise we have to be with this camera. Manual focusing. And this camera has the true focus. It's like an amazing piece of algorithm because you capture the focus point on the center of the camera. So when you're focusing the eye of the model, for example, considering a person, and then you rotate the camera to recompose it, the camera will compensate the focus automatically based on a very advanced algorithm. And I used also true focus when I'm photographing cars if I have to. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is an amazing picture. I'm in love with this. I get paralyzed watching my own pictures. I told you I'm in love with my own work. And I'm just at the beginning, look, not even 30%. I have, oh, this is going to be a long day. Maybe I'll go to town just to catch some vitamin D and drink a coffee and come back. But this is going to be a long day. Look at those cars, so beautiful. The images are tilted. I was trying to feel another angle. I will adjust that later. You know, you have to be different, especially there were so many photographers. Oh, I stayed here for like 1 minute to get this image because there was a lovely girl going there, walking there, and I was aiming to capture this perspective, this funnel perspective of all the Audis. And note that I'm not, I forgot to select this one. That I'm not focusing on the first car. I'm focusing on the second one to create perspective and notion of depth. I have the first plane autofocus and the second plane focus, third plane and beyond autofocus. This is to give perspective, depth. This is using my tips and tricks of perception. If you want to know more about perception, make sure you follow my workshop page, subscribe, because I'm doing the free Friday online workshop talking about light and perception. All of these concepts I'm talking here, I'm talking live and discussing with you and sharing my secrets. And I'm also be starting doing live workshops here in Chichester, UK. If you are nearby, come by to be there. The first will be on 1st of June in the Chichester City Council, an assembly room with nice windows, natural light. And we'll be using studio light and a model so you can practice during the afternoon. It's going to be a 6-hour workshop, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, lunch break between midday, noon and 2 p.m. It's going to be an amazing Saturday, the 1st of June. So much information I have to share with you guys. Look at this, and yeah, the lady looks good, right? So I stayed here waiting for my shot for about 1 minute. I crouched, and I waited for her to step forward or backward, to cross her legs eventually while walking like catwalk, because it's more glamorous than walking square, especially for women. And finally, I got her, and this time I focused on her. Oh, I got this guy. I gotta remove this guy. Ugly. But still, this is not a very good image because she is not focused 100%. I focused on the background. The camera captured the background. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this image. It's not because we are just seeing an ass that I'm going to select the image. I'll have to think about this. No, rejected. I'm not going to select this image. Not rejected, but I'm not going to delete it because I want to use this as an example in the future. But because if I had, like in the first one, oh, maybe I can compose the images. I'm thinking, Francisco. I can use this image where the car is focused. I can use this and replace this, but then our focus range will be completely different. I could do it, but it would take me like 1 or 2 hours at least, and I'm not going to do that. I have like 300 images to work, so sorry, Francisco. Lesson learned. Oh, wait, because I like to play safe usually. Can use this one because the focus range is very similar to the last one. Although this one is landscape. This one is... No, this one is also landscape. Alright. Done. Sorry, guys. I'm about to sneeze. I'm sorry about that. I got excited. And I sneeze when I got excited. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. Oh, it's already half one. Like 30 minutes, 40 minutes already gone. You know, time goes really fast when you're editing. And I'm not even on 30%. Oh, it's going to be a long day. I need coffee. So I photographed this one at f5. I have a little bit more of depth of field. My goal was to have the whole car focused. We can see some aberration at 10%, like these purple spots, but this is because of the color compression on the screen. There is so much information that the screen cannot process. So it gets like, it has like these aberrations. Oh, we can understand where the purple comes from, because the black paint must have... There are two reasons. Because the one is because of the black paint have an under layer with other color, with other key colors. The key colors are... The key color is not necessarily black, but it can be a saturated of that color. That's why we call the CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow and key, and not cyan, magenta, yellow and black. Because usually the key color is black, but it wasn't always like that. Just to let you know. And you use that system with organic color, with paint, organic. With light, we use the RGB, the red, blue, and green system. When we mix RGB, when we mix lights, all the colors we have white. When we mix all the colors organically, we have black. Keep that in mind. I do like the picture. The whole car is almost focused. Not very focused on the back, but still acceptable. It's not very sharp. This is not pin sharp as I would like. I photographed this at... It should be pin sharp. 6500th of a second. That's how he said it. I can see the wooden sticks. No, they're not that sharp. Not very happy. I'm gonna keep this there. Hopefully this one is better. Same shutter speed, ISO 400, f5. Not laser sharp, but acceptable. Not a 5-star image, but acceptable, because if we print this image, look, if we send this image to print for a magazine, the magazine doesn't have more resolution than this. So, and here it looks sharp. In the magazine it would look good. That's what I think. I have to test it. I have to test this idea, but that's what I think. Oh, I got to connect the tablet to the computer. Ooh la la. Yeah. So yeah, I'll take it's 1:36. I'll take this opportunity to do a little break, just to get some coffee downstairs, recharge my tablet, go to the bathroom, get some water. I'll be back in a second, guys. I can leave you guys with a quick picture at least. If someone enters the streaming. Yeah, it's a cool one. I'll be back in a second. I'm back to life, back to action. Got my coffee, went to the bathroom, and I just need something else. I just need one more thing. What is it? I need to plug in my outlet. There you go. Got it. I got the cable. Waar is Paul goed gegaan? Okay, now you're listening to Luxurious Deep Vibes Deep House Mix 2018 Gentleman Selection from Michel Coco. Alright. Can do. Let's go. Get back to action. I've got my tablet connected. Everything's connected. Ready to go. Oh, and you know what? Got my coffee. Let's go. So this event was at Goodwood, the racetrack. I was there photographing Caterham, and they were having this event at Goodwood for a world record of the maximum number of Audis on track. And lucky for them and for me, I was there with the Hasselblad and I photographed it. I got the group shots, but I gotta be quick to deliver this to them. I'll have to find out a way to import all the settings, to apply all the settings to all the images at once. Because I have to do this on every single image. Oh, damn it. Knowing that I will have to re-edit all the images again. I'm just quickly adjusting the settings, the exposure and white balance, and selecting the images. This is amazing. I love this. I love those images. They're really cool. Nice coffee. Photographed this at 200th of a second. So it gets very tricky fighting to have... Oh, whoa, what's this? Green line. What the hell is this? Come on, Hasselblad. I was not expecting this. I'm going to sell this to Hasselbald. If this would be my camera, I would request a refund. Not a refund, but a free recheck on the camera, because, come on. This is the best camera in the world, £40,000 camera. Don't give me these aberrations. What the hell is that? It's quite easy to remove it, but it's going to take me time to remove it. And now I have to remove it because it's the only picture I have of that car. They were parked one next to each other, and this is the only one I have. I'll have to retouch this. Oh shit. Do you know what's wrong with this picture? And I took care of it immediately. Do you know what is it? this. Someone was posting these flyers on all the cars and ruining all the images of all the photographers. So I literally take off all the flyers and distraction things, I do my work, and I put the flyer back. That's how I do it. So this one, I kind of like the angle, but I don't like that. It will make my life difficult, guys. Come on. V90 bed. Ooh la la. The angle is slightly different, right? Which one to use? Well, it depends where you want to use it, so I'll keep them both and let the client decide. Too much tarmac, Francisco. Oh no, it's center, it was cropped. Yeah. Ooh la la, baby. So much information. Look at this. Boom. I love this job. R-Line. Maybe you're gonna like some photos I have of you. Oh, this car? I've seen this car. Wait. I've seen this guy in Chichester yesterday. He's local. He was here. Meaning that I can get in touch with him personally. That'd be cool. Yeah, not very good. I don't know if I'm going to use this image. This one I'm not going to use it as well. The only detail here eventually I could use would be to crop this and to have the Civic there. I don't know. Cropping. I'm going to keep the 2x3 constraint. Sorry, the 3x2 constraint. I don't know. I don't like it. Oh, sorry. Control Shift D, I guess. Remove. Crop. Control Shift D. Okay, no crop. All right. I don't like this one. Sorry, guys. gonna be fun. This is a good one. Maybe rotate a little bit more, tilt it a bit more, make this wooden stack or stick, whatever. Vertical, completely vertical, and rotate the image. Yeah, that'd be good. Got potential here. We got potential, Francisco. The focus is here. I should have focused a little bit, just a little bit forward. But it's good. It's good. Did well. Like it. Oh, I was at Goodwood, yeah. So that's why you have those images. I photographed this at 1/400th a wooden propeller. How cool is that? Oh, I love this. I love this. I love aviation. You guys should know that. So I'll keep the Caterham and the aviation pictures for later. Those were not supposed to be here, but supposed to be in a different folder. This is a chipmunk. I contacted them, asked them permission to go there and to arrange a day to be there, photographed near the planes, etc. They told me they would contact the team and they will get back to me, and never get back to me. So at least they could have at least say no and being honest. I would prefer that. Oh, wait. Sorry about that. I think my screen was a bit offset, yeah, but no, it's okay. Aha, what aircraft is R1? You know, Spitfire, the MK maybe 5, I don't know, with the round tip wing. AUDI's, here we go again. Nice ambient light. Now I've got a few of this car, not that many because the surface was so reflective and so curvy that I literally was in almost every shot. It was difficult for me not to be reflected in the car, you know. Look at the gradient of this shadow zone, just amazing. Oh damn it, I love this. The potential of those images. You can apply a layer mask, increase a little bit the exposure inside the car, and keep the exposure like that on the outside, on the hood. Oh man, this is good. This is good, and I was forgetting to tag the images with the green light. Looking outside, my eyes are getting saturated. Okay, let's go. Boom. Oh, love the perspective. Just rotate a little bit more the image. Yeah, that'd be cool. And maybe use this one. You know, the reflection here on the seats and on the steering wheel, and defining these edges like the rim light all around the car, just amazing. Again, funny angles and tilting the camera to avoid being reflected, to avoid me to be on the picture actually. So how about using this exposure for the left side of the picture and this exposure on the right side of the picture? Amazing. One of the good things here in England for automotive photography is that, yes, I would like to have my own studio, but the light is so soft when it's cloudy, you can have great images. Look at this, boom. This would be a very good image. I was waiting for them to get off frame, but she was just there, standing there, having a chat, preparing their lunch. Oh, sorry guys. I said it's going to be a long day. Almost already 2 p.m. Oh no. So yeah, I can deal with this in Photoshop. If this is really good image, I can remove them. It's going to take me like half an hour. Here as well. Easier. I just have to remove 2 pieces of information and it's good. But I have the car. I don't like this car here reflected. But it's what you got. It's what you got. Keep moving. So I was trying to get creative. I got this. TF 1500. I don't know what car is this, literally. Sponsor. Goddamn photographer. He's easy to remove. I'll take you off the picture because you are right in the middle. Thank you for that. Oh, seriously. I'm sure I'm in your frame too, so. Yeah, I will just crop the image to remove the hood shadowing, especially the left side. I can keep this one and I kept this one, and I can actually use it to create like the Top Gear effect. Ooh la la! This is easy to remove. Just have to replace that. It's easy to remove that. I have some information, not that much. I can just replace the sky. Oh, but I've lost here some information. No, I still have it. I still have the information. Cool. Francisco, why you are always forgetting to select, to flag the images. So again, if you are using Lightroom, you flag the images. Here you select them by pressing 6. Unselected or unflagged images, keyboard 7. Rejected images, keyboard 8. You develop with time an eye for commercial photography. I mean, thinking about the client. Branding. See a logo, take a photograph. Because that's what the brand is looking for. Oh my god. Look at this. This is good. This is good. I don't really care if the sky is blown out. I can recover. I still have the information. I will do this later, because when we recover the highlights, there is something else we should do to keep the feeling of the image, using contrast and clarity and brightness. So the transition in the blues is just amazing. This is Hasselblad. You can't do this with another camera with this amount of detail. Now, photographing an event with a medium format camera, that's unique. Nobody's going to hire a photographer with a medium format camera for an event like that. It's a bit kind of waste of capturing. Every time you press the shutter button in a camera like this, you are buying yourself a coffee. Literally, it's the same price. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're photographing, and don't waste clicks. Oh, lens hood, come on. Focus. What's good about this, Francisco? What's good? Next time it won't happen. It was such a beginner mistake, because initially I didn't understood that this shadowing was caused by the hood, the lens hood. (1/40th of a second). Let me check. No, driver is not focused at all. But the percentage of focus here, if I was the owner, could I use this image? 25% chances, I don't know. I just need a little bit more of clarity, of focus. Getting there. Those are blurred by movement, not by focus. I kind of like the images. I just want to have a little bit more focused on the car or on the driver. For now, I will select them. I will flag them for now. (1/40th), so I'm sure that then I increase the speed to 1/60th. But this is not worth it. It's like, ooh. Oh no, still have it. Okay, recovered. There you go, 1/60th. Yeah, I knew when those things happen, I can identify the camera, and I'll slightly adjust the settings. Now, for me, those images doesn't have to be 100% sharp, because the car is moving. This is an event, you have one opportunity to take the shot in the perspective you want to use, and you have to have the settings on your fingers ready to go to adjust, because when you adjust shutter speed, you have to compensate the aperture and eventually the ISO. So you have to be quick, and you have to know what you're doing, and that's why knowing the concept of f-stop is so important, because you count the clicks, you count the number of f-stops you are increasing when you decrease the shutter speed to have movement, and you have to compensate the same amount of f-stops closing the aperture, closing the lens, increasing the aperture. Or if you reach the limit of aperture, you'll have to continue increasing those or decreasing that f-stop numbers with the ISO. That's your other option. So yeah, That's what happens inside my mind when I'm photographing. Okay, got it. 1/60th, there you go. And the driver is not pin sharp focused, but enough. Focused, identifiable, let's say. Come on, track marshal. Again, the images are all blue because I imported them wrong. Oh, a photographer there. I'm not surprised. Okay, enough focused. That's cool. So it's readjust, set and go, select and go. Nothing special about this picture. I don't like the angle and the composition. I'm cutting the car. I don't have nothing happen there. Too negative, missing lots of information. I don't like that. Nothing special happening. Yeah, why not? Different angles. I prefer this one. Although the background is better on this one than on this one. The couple is not that close, the photographer is here, this guy has the legs open, not very flattering. Here he's walking, no photographer taking pictures, and those people are far away from the picture. I prefer this one. To this one, so this one unselected, sorry, gone. I still have the detail of the car, R8 detail, steering wheel, etc. Cool, let's go, keep moving. Not even 15%, 50%. Oh no, I've got so many images to go through. Boom, okay, I'll crop it later. F8. The car was moving. The car was moving slowly, and there was a big advantage for me because everything else is blurred by movement, and I got the car focused. I should have been a little bit lower. I was too high. I like to photograph the car at shoulder level or driver eye level. That's another secret, guys. There you go. Here you can see, obviously I'm photographing at shoulder level, you know. That line above the door, it's called the shoulder line of the car. Oh, he's giving me a thumbs up. And I got him. Not the best picture. The car is moving, I'm photographing at a 1/60th. F8. Not the best image. Yeah, that's one thing I do when I'm editing. I'm criticizing my work and trying to see what I'm doing wrong so I can improve next time. Don't quite like this image. The car is focused, but the driver is on the other side. That's why I was photographing on that side of the road, by the way. This one, on the other hand, we don't have any driver there, but I kind of like the feeling as a woman on the passenger seat. But I do like this image. I like it. You've got a sharp image here. Not very sharp, but focused. Again, I photographed this at 1/60th of a second to have all the blurred background. Thank you, mate. You know I'm going to sell you this picture, right? Well, I hope you do, because it's a cool picture. Oh, it's almost 2:30. It's 2:15. Hola. And I was really close to the cars because I was using the wide angle lens. I was about like 1/2 to 1 meter away from the car. You can see here, following this perspective, this line of perspective, I am at the middle. Well, actually, I'm about at the middle of this lane. In order to have this perspective and movement that I like. This is like my key signature on my automotive motorsports imagery. I really like this feeling because it's all about perception and transmitting the idea of movement. So I consider everything: the angle of the camera, that's called the tilt angle of the camera, and the shutter speed and the point of focus. And when you have to take this picture when you are rotating your body, while you are rotating at the same and the camera is following the car literally. Lots of information in the sky. Look at this. Yeah. All right, let's go back to this. I'll have to dedicate a very special moment to the group shots and the grid shots. Got the kid here saying hello. Yeah, it's cool. So obviously there are lots of people on track taking pictures in the grid lane, etc. At a given moment, they ask everybody to get out of get out of the track, take the picture. Something not for me. So they would have, anyone would have a complete grid shot. Taking from upstairs or something, I don't know. I'll have to remove this guy from the frame. And yes, I have a grid shot with everyone off. Just have to remove one guy. I missed information there. Well, I will not remove it because I don't have the information of the other car. Can remove them, and I'll have a full grid shot. Come on, guys, seriously? Look at this. With a medium format camera, I can just zoom in and crop an image like this, and we'll still have enough resolution for a magazine. As I said, I have to come back for these shots, the grid shots. There's always a black duck in the photo. Come on, guys. I can help them. I'm realizing this now. I can help an organization to I can make them literally help to organize the event in such a way that they will have better images at the end. Now I was being creative with the flash. I was having using an off-camera flash hand holding, and I was triggering it with the built-in flash of the Hasselbald, just to communicate with my flash. So I set the built-in flash to the minimal power, but still, yeah, visible. So much information. Look at this. Yeah, so basically 50% of the shots are grid shots. Oh my dear. Oh, flash alert. Flash alert, too white over there. I have to compensate this. We can see the flash impact in this area. Nah, don't like it. Well, I can create some drama. Yeah. Not now. I'm thinking about what I feel about the image and what I can do with the image. Using some recovery. Yeah, simple errors will be very cost how do you say cost effective? Are not very cost effective. I'll have to dedicate lots of time in removing this. lens hood shadowing. If I need like 30 seconds per image, if I have 300 images. Do the math. Like this one. Now the flash popped up a little bit, the details on the interior of the car. Evident when I lower the exposure. Yeah, like that. So I'll have to take care of the grid shots separately. People, cars in the car park, and then the grid shots. I think I have a chocolate. Sorry guys, I need some chocolate here and then. It's not very healthy. Coffee and chocolate, I know that. I'm gonna do some tea very soon. I have to go outside. It's a sunny day. A bit windy. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing so many aircrafts in the air. I can see the aircrafts on their final from my window when they're landing at the Goodwood Aerodrome. This morning I was listening to some cars racing already. Lapping at least at Goodwood. I'm really close to Goodwood. Like if I run there, usually when I do my jogging, if I go through Goodwood, it's not very good because I cannot run on any sidewalk near the facilities. There's only road, and I have to be running on the road, and that's not very safe. Last time I ran in the sides of the road, and the soil is not regular, and I hurt my knees because of that, and my ankles. But running there, I take like 10 minutes to get there. If I drive, it's like 5 minutes. No, running is about 20. Yeah, running is about 20 minutes. Yeah, that's it. I'm close. So it's 2:30. I'll cut it off at 3. so I can do something else on my life, and I will come back at around 4:30. And this is a whole day doing this. This is the first stage of editing and selecting. If I well remember, I tried also to get some backlight photographs with the sun in front of me to create a nice effect. I really like to photograph against the light. It's tricky, but when you can do it, when you find out how to do it, the images get really cool. So I missed the first place, the third one. I think I missed the third. Whoa, what's that in the clouds? Purple. The amount of resolution, it's amazing. Look at this. Two-hundredth of a second. The amount of resolution is just amazing. I'm getting better at this, but I still have to be better. When photographing events, I have to take control and to go there and say, guys, you shake hands in here at this angle, I'll be there taking photographs, and look at me when you do that. Because people just go there and they ignore the photographer, they don't care, and then you miss the shot and it's your fault. Extreme ownership. So I'm learning guys, every time I go there and I shoot, I'm learning. And this is not a zoom lens, this is a constant focal length. This is a prime lens. And the other one I was having was a normal perspective, 80mm. And so I wasn't able to change lens or something, or to zoom in. So I had to choose what lens to put on the camera while doing this. And the wide angle was the choice. Now, there was one guy that requested me not to be on the photos because he don't want to be on Instagram, etc. I respect that, but just to let you know that I will have that photograph available for a very special price, if you know what I mean. Okay, I have sharp images. Cool. I got stuff to sell. No. Another aberration from Hasselblad. Yeah. So they have to be careful with this Hasselblad, because I was shooting too fast for the camera, apparently. And the camera is not ready to... don't have a defense mechanism for this. They will have to improve the algorithms for that. If anyone says this is not the camera for the events, I will ask, why not? Why not? So I started taking group shots, test shots before the official one. Especially because I was increasing one by one, I think, or making sure that I had enough sharp images, focusing on the people. So in this case, because of course we are hand holding, we have to define the minimal shutter speed. I would say 200th of a second would be like the minimum. Use the native ISO 100 for better image quality, and adjust the aperture in accordance to all of the other settings until you have the correct amount of light in your camera based on your photometer. Now, what can be dangerous in this situation is that if people, as they normally do, if they start posing in a circle, that was not the case, and lucky for me, I didn't say a word because I like that. When people start posing in a circle, it's difficult to get everyone in focus. It's a challenge because of the depth of field. So it's up to the photographer to one, either adjust the aperture to have the correct aperture, so to make sure that everyone is focused, eventually using a hyperfocal distance in aperture, or avoiding people to be in that U shape. That was not the case. They were all above the finish line. That was cool. And I took a few shots saying, hey, 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 hands up, here, what are you? What are you doing there, photographer, you bummer? That was fun. See, those guys are not very well focused. They are like on the extreme side of the lens. And I was pulling them in, literally. Isn't this a nice photograph? Everyone there. But no one is looking to the photographer. My fault. Overexposed. Literally. Look at the Instagram. Come on. I can't see this. It's hurting me. F5. See the difference? Those guys are not focused. Those ones are. Wait, what happened to the sound? Alright, I don't know How long? Again. I must be streaming for 2 hours or something like that already. So this afternoon I'll be streaming on Facebook probably. I'm like testing the several networks, see which one is the best for this. Cool. Yeah, lots of people with their hands up, saying hello. Doesn't want to autofocus. Not very sharp at the extremes, but I'll go 100%. Enough focused. Cool. Now all the cars were started to get off the grid. And I photograph them. Those are the ones I also want to sell and to share with everyone. Oh, I said I'll be off at 2:30 and it's a 2:45 already. Oh, so before I start this set of images, oh god. Before I start this set of, oh, and then I still have the finish and the team there. Oh, la 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 la. Amazing pictures. Oh, Francisco, you are such a master on this. I'll keep the sky, definitely. I love this. I love this. Okay, 2:10. I'm going to wrap this. Got 2 sets to go. I'm going to wrap this up. Finish the streaming. I'm gonna move my body a little bit. I'm going to town, having my coffee and come back, get some light, desaturate my vision and my brain. Thank you guys so much for being there. I hope you enjoy this. Share your comment in the comments what you think, what you want to learn, what you don't want to learn, what you don't want to hear, and what you don't want to see. You can also do. Interact. I'm stopping the streaming.